Baddies, babes, and gents, good evening. It's your host, Wisdom's Daughter, and this is Bad Girls Talk. And we've got a whole lot to talk about this evening. We are talking about none other than Diddy and the foolery that is going on in the courtroom with these jurors. Listen, the selection process has been absolute madness and mayhem. And at this point, Diddy's defense team are starting to get a little bit nervous, and there is the small possibility that they may have to move the trial if they cannot find suitable jurors. All right. And then what's going on? Smokey Robinson, what have you done? He has been accused by 4 women of sexual assault. We're going to talk about that, and then we've got to get into the Shannon Sharp update. And then I have another update for you on the woman who has received now $675,000 in donations after using the N-word repeatedly on a 5-year-old child. Got to get into it. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. It helps us out a lot. And on that note, let me go ahead and greet those who were first in the room. I've got Leo Lady in the building. She says, good evening, Queen WD, and hello, family. Penelope S is in the building. Ale, I see you in the building. Sierra is here. Listen to me 301 is in the building. June Poetry says, we are back, family. Different station. That's right. I've got Jalen Jones say, yo, I'm in the building. Sonia's white muscle shirt is here. Nesto Shackle Shuffle Walker Shame is in the building. And we've got Snoopalicious and many more of you in the bushes coming over from the other channel. We were just on my other channel with some daughter talking about what has to be the most hilarious and mind-boggling case that has us all in a chokehold here in the Atlanta area. I am Mrs. BB in the building, says hi all and hi to you too. All right, so real women, real conversation. We got some entertainment news on tonight. Let's get into this Diddy foolishness. I've got some notes for you, some handwritten notes I'm going to go over in just a bit. And I'm going to give you kind of a blow by blow of the last 2 days, yesterday and today, on what has been happening in the courtroom. And then we're going to go to the news and see what's been happening there. We'll get into the whole situation with Shannon Sharp, and also now with Smokey Robinson. That one kind of took me aback. Okay. So now we have Diddy with his trial. We have Shannon Sharp with his $50 million lawsuit. And now we have another person being accused, the latest, Smokey Robinson. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I tell you, you absolutely cannot make this up. All right. So before I get into the Diddy story, let me just share one story with you. So if you guys didn't catch the live that I did the other night on Wisdom's Daughter, I talked about a white woman from Minnesota who has received now $670,000, almost $1 million in donations, because she used a racial slur on a 5-year-old child. Notice I said because. And I say because those who are leaving these donations for her, this is what they've said. This is their reasoning. All right. So here we go. So according to NBC News, the fundraiser allegedly for the woman who used a racial slur against the child draws racist comments of support. All right. Those of you who have never seen the video, it's really short. I'll just play it for you very quickly. And then I'm going to let you know a little bit more about this case. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, apologies in advance, because this is going to piss you off. You're going to be pissed off in about 2 seconds. I was pissed off, and unfortunately, you're going to be pissed off as well. And not because of what this woman said. That was bad enough. It's because of what happened after.
You called him a child? Did you call the child the word? It is my own business. You call him. Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say. Nobody digging to you. That little kid, you call him the little child? Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child, 5-year-old, and the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech. And you can be that.
I don't give a
All right, so I'm going to stop it there. Okay. The reason why this is relevant is because, as I said, this woman has now garnered $675,000 in donations now. And let's talk about this platform. Okay. So the platform itself is a Christian crowdfunding platform. Okay. The comments have since been removed. Talk about that in just a second. But it has raised $675,000. A Christian crowdfunding platform has raised $675,000 for a woman who called this 5-year-old boy who is said to have autism, who she claims was rummaging through her son's bag. Well, kids do stuff like that. What is a 5-year-old going to steal from you, right? And why was your bag just out in the open? All right. They've removed the comments because of the unacceptable volume of racist and derogatory remarks left on this Christian platform. All right. We all heard her use the N-word. Most of, or they're saying many of the comments that were posted were by anonymous users, and those using racist handles like Black Excellence Fatigue, White Unity Will Unite, Aunt Jemima, White Stand Strong, and White Rise. So a lot of these comments are coming from white supremacists ultimately on this Christian crowdfunding page. One commenter said, these young generations of whites are sick of the bullying, intimidation, and being made to shut up about race issues. Wait, what? These young generations of whites are sick of the bullying, intimidation, and being made to shut up about race issues. First of all, who is bullying white people? Who is intimidating white people? Are you serious? And what white person is being told to shut up about race issues? If anything, we're the ones being told to shut up about race issues because y'all tired of hearing about it, right? You tired of hearing about it? That's why somebody wrote Black Excellence Fatigue. Are you kidding me? No, we want you to talk about these things. A white, so someone going by the name of White Texas Mommy wrote on the fundraising page as she contributed $50. That's what she wrote. Now, NBC News took a screenshot of her comment before it was erased. So for $50, she wrote that white people are sick of the bullying, intimidation, and being made to shut up about race issues, because apparently that's what's happening in this country. We're telling white people not to talk about race issues. I don't know what planet these people are living on, okay? But I'm really starting to think that we are in the end times and that, the rapture is going to happen soon. All right, so here's another comment. They call us racist because we are white. Nothing will ever make them happy. They've been given trillions of dollars. They've been allowed into our schools and neighborhoods, forced upon us at every turn, and they still aren't happy. Written by Hey Wild Rich with a contribution of $88. They call us, no, we're not calling people racist because they're white. We're calling them racist because they're racist. It doesn't matter what race you are. Doesn't matter what color you are. Racism is not limited to just white people. I don't know where they're getting this from. Nothing will ever make them happy. You hear how we're being spoken about? The Black community, they're saying that they've, as in Black people, have been given trillions of dollars. Has anyone in this chat been given trillions of dollars? Just let me know if any of you have received trillions of dollars, because I haven't received trillions of dollars. And if any of y'all find a way to receive trillions of dollars, y'all let me know, because I didn't get the memo that we've gotten trillions of dollars. This is so sickening. It took me so long to get through this article because every sentence just made me more and more angry. they've been allowed into our schools and our neighborhoods. Well, you know what? It's black and brown labor that built most of those neighborhoods, and it's black labor that built this country, but they kind of forget about that. Somebody named Jacob Wells is the co-founder of the Christian crowdfunding platform Give, Send, Go. And the comments on the fundraiser again on Give, Send, Go have been disabled because of so many racist and derogatory remarks. They claim that they remain committed to ensuring all funds are raised, are delivered to campaign recipients as intended. So this Christian platform is okay with sending $675,000 minus their cut to someone who's a white supremacist and who's very racist and who doesn't have a Christian bone in their body, flipping this guy the bird and saying, well, if this is what this kid act like, because apparently that's Christian behavior. We unequivocally condemn the hateful comments that sought to fuel division and harmful narratives. Well, how about you take the comments down and return all the money back to the people who sent it and don't give this woman a dime? How about that? Anyway, prohibited fundraising campaigns on Give, Send, Go include those for abortions, gender reassignment surgery, and illegal activities, as well as those impersonating people or organizations, but apparently not for racism. The fundraising page related to an incident that took place on April 28th in Rochester, Minnesota, appears to have been set up by a person with the same name as a woman who was recorded hurling racist slurs at a child of Somali heritage at a public park. She accused the child of stealing from her son's diaper bag. A post on the fundraising site says that the woman's family had been threatened and that personal information about her, such as her social security number, phone number, and address, were leaked. I talked about this before. NBC News has not verified whether the woman was the person in the video, nor whether she created the page. They attempted to reach her, but were unsuccessful. Heather Wilson, who is the other co-founder of Give, Send, Go, told NBC News on Sunday that the fundraiser has not cleared the company's full verification process. No funds will be dispersed until that process is completed, which includes verifying the identity of the campaign organizer and their connections to the intended recipient. So if someone is out here playing the fool and trying to pull a wool over their eyes, you ain't getting this money. Just so you know, the NAACP has also started a GoFundMe page for the family, and they have raised $341,484 for the family of the child who was the victim of these racial slurs. So I just wanted to point that out to you. Someone else said, do not apologize. Do not be afraid. These people are cowards and we will show them their time is up. Someone donated $10 saying, thank you for making a stand. Everyone who truly loves and cares for our people are supporting you every step of the way. Any race traitor will be sent back with the blacks, wrote someone who donated $10. Wow. Hang on one second. Sorry for the interruption. So why am I reading all this is because I've said it before. This is not the time to put your head in the sand. You don't necessarily need to go out and march. I done said it before. Y'all need to sit home and have some jerk chicken, red beans and rice, and some cabbage with Wisdom's daughter. But you need to understand where we are as a country and what is happening. It's like we have gone absolutely backwards. All right. So not really trying to get into politics here, but this is what many people voted for. This is what many people wanted, unfortunately. And there you have it. So tell me how you really feel as a person. And that's all I have to say about that. It is, it is so disappointing. And let me just say this. You cannot condemn a whole race, right? So every white person is not racist, just like every black person is not lazy, right? Every white person is not a white supremacist, just like every black person is not poor. So it is what it is. These are people that are spreading hate. And unfortunately, that is where the current administration has led us as a country. All right, let me get into the Diddy foolishness of it all and talk to you about what's going on with his case. All right, so let's go into it. So let's talk about day one. There were a lot of names dropped in the courtroom on day one. Kim Porter, Kid Cudi, Michael Myers, Michael B. Jordan, Kanye West, Cassie Ventura, who, by the way, Cassie will testify. She's testifying under her own name. Okay. There is also a witness who seems to be missing or uncooperative. Okay. It has come to light that a witness that goes by victim number 3 is missing. They cannot reach her. They cannot reach her attorney because when they call her attorney's number, it goes to voicemail. We're going to get into details on that a little bit later. Another interesting thing to note is that no family showed up for Diddy. Nobody, not a soul showed up for the diddler. Not his son, not his mama. I don't even know what that's about, but maybe it's because they also are having their own issues and things going on, and they may have been told to not come. Not sure, to be honest with you. Not sure what the issue is and why none of his family has shown up. But other things to note is that let's talk about what Diddy was wearing. So Diddy is not allowed to have shoes with laces. So he was wearing like a V-neck navy blue sweater, a white shirt, and gray slacks with the white socks and loafers, like the grandpa loafers. Okay. He comes into the courtroom. He hugs 3 of his lawyers. He puts his nasty ass hands on the shoulder of one of his other attorneys from his team. He has 8 lawyers, by the way. He has a team of 8 lawyers. Okay. He also closes his fists and kind of taps his chest while looking at a male supporter in the audience or on the somewhere in the courtroom. And he's kind of looking at him and you know, smiling and whatnot, doing what he does. The challenge is that they have lots of juror candidates to go through, but almost all of them have seen the video of Cassie and Diddy dragging her and beating the crap out of her wearing nothing more than a towel. A lot of them have seen that video, and so they're biased. A lot of the jurors, females mostly, seem to have issues of SA. Either they were a victim or someone in their family. And so you have a lot of jurors that are being dismissed because of that. There was one interesting juror who goes by Juror 22. Very weird guy, right? He says that he saw someone get run over by a train before, but he wasn't really affected by it. It didn't really do much. And he asked why the case was called USA versus Sean Combs. He also said a lot of other weird stuff, sounded like a real sociopath to me, but he was not excluded. So weird guy, juror number 2, stays, okay? Jurors were asked how they feel about Kanye West. Or this juror, sorry, this same guy, juror 22, was asked how he feels about Kanye West. And he said that he didn't have any negative view of Kanye West. So upon that, they said, okay, you're in. Another juror had seen the video and was disqualified. Another juror had SA trauma and was disqualified. And then Diddy's team asked for a little break. And the judge is like, well, do you have to? Do you really have to take a break? Like, is that necessary? Is it necessary? Do you have to take a break? And Diddy raised his hand and he's like, Judge, I'm kind of nervous today. And so I need a break. And Diddy went and took a nervous shit. Yeah, Diddy is nervous because there's a clear distinction between his other hearings where he was fist bumping people, high-fiving, smiling, and carrying on because his family was there. But there's no one there for Diddy. There's no one there to support the diddler. And so he's not feeling too confident, especially with so many jurors being dismissed. Because the problem is, if they need 12 jurors, 12 suitable, unbiased jurors, right? Jury of his peers. if they cannot find anybody, then what's going to happen is they may have to move this trial out of New York. Now, Diddy's team would love that, right? Would absolutely love it if it was moved out of New York, because that means that they could get 12 jurors that maybe don't know about this. But think about it. This is international news. I mean, this went international. You can't say Diddy's name without people not knowing what he's accused of, okay? Which is everything from trafficking to prostitution, racketeering, taking workers across state lines, and just all type of stuff. All right, so Diddy said he was nervous. Another juror apparently owns a book with I'll Be Sure. Okay, and the judge said, well, if you're connected to I'll Be Sure, and the book is about Kim Porter, and his defense one of his defense lawyers, what is his name? Tenny Garagos mentioned, I think it was Tenny, mentioned something about the mysterious death of Kim Porter, which I don't know why he would say that. That doesn't work in Diddy's favor, being that Kim Porter was his girlfriend. And usually domestic violence, or when girlfriends disappear, it's usually close to home. But anyway, the judge literally said that the case was too close to home and he was excluded. Okay. So Kim Porter's name also came up. That's why her name came up, and I'll Be Sure. Diddy apparently wanted a speedy trial initially, but now it seems he wants a delay, and it was denied. So, it is what it is. So let me see. His and as I said, his family and his mama, who loves her son so much, is nowhere to be found. She's probably hooked up to an IV drip somewhere. All right. Another juror was asked if they recognize anyone on the list. They mentioned Kid Cudi, Michael B. Jordan, and Michael Myers. The reason why Michael B. Jordan initially was listed is because allegedly he began a flirtatious relationship with Cassie. And according to her lawsuit, Diddy called Michael B. Jordan and threatened him. And Michael B. Jordan was like, listen, Cassie, you need to call Diddy. You need to talk to your boy. And Rolling Stone, I don't know how they got this information, but Rolling Stone has confirmed that Michael B. Jordan will not be a witness. So those of you heard that Michael B. Jordan is going to testify, he will not be testifying. So there was another juror from HBO, okay, who is also connected to this case, because if you didn't know, HBO owns Tubi, and they did a documentary called The Fall of Diddy. And that person, I believe, was disqualified. Again, the judge said, this is too close to home. So Sociopath is in, but HBO guy is out. Another marketing executive had connections to I'll Be Sure and Diddy and Kim Porter, and so he also was excluded. I already told you about victim number 3. We're going to come back to her in a second because they can't find her. Okay, cannot find her. All right, so day 2. Why is Diddy wearing the same clothes? Why is Diddy wearing the exact same clothes that he had on the day before? He has a whole wardrobe full of clothing for his hearing, but he chose to wear the same stinky ass clothes. Okay, I bet you the butt part probably smells like shit. Anyway, he had on the same navy blue sweater, the V-neck with the white shirt underneath, his gray pants, his white socks, and black loafers. Because that you wear you wear white socks with black loafers. Apparently, that's what you do. All right. The judge and the prosecutors and the defense were interviewing or planning to interview another 36 jurors. Okay. About 8 jurors failed to qualify. Most of them, again, had seen the video, and that's really what the biggest issue is. One woman stated that she had a negative view of Diddy because she feels like he did it, even though she's unsure. So there's no presumption of innocence, so she's out. A second woman was asked whether Diddy's access to money could influence the outcome, and she was honest about it, so she's out. A third woman whose son is an assistant DA up in Rockland County, New York, did not know, she didn't know if she would be biased toward the prosecution, and so she was excused. A man was excused after he told the judge that he was on meds and cannot travel. A real estate broker was dismissed because he was biased over the Cassie video. There was a lawyer, okay, an experienced attorney who was a juror who admitted to looking at online news about Cassie Ventura. So now you've got jurors who can't follow instructions. So either you have jurors who experience essay, you have jurors who are not complying. I mean, if you have an experienced lawyer who can't follow instructions because they signed forms stating that they will not look at any Diddy news, no Diddy, okay? Put it up in the chat. No Diddy, no news, no online stuff, no YouTube videos, nothing. Stay away from, don't talk about it with anybody. That is the requirement. And unfortunately, he was given the boot. Let's see who else. So Diddy's lawyer is basically concerned about the negative impact of the Cassie video. That's the biggest issue. Before they even, so let's just put it to you like this. This trial may not start on Monday like they planned. They could be in jury selection for weeks. This trial could go on well into the summer and into the fall. I'm just letting y'all know. If y'all thought that y'all was going to get a July 4th present and find out if Diddy, how much time he was going to get, because he's not going to get off. Sorry to bust your bubble. Okay. Even the government is concerned about jurors' ability to follow instructions. Okay. The instructions are clear. No Diddy. Okay. Another man was dismissed because he clicked on a news article about jury selection. Had another guy who said that his brother was a gang member and he was just released from jail, and that when he went home, the news was on and everybody was talking about Diddy. The news was on in the house, and the judge was like, why would you do that? Why do you have the news on when you know you're not supposed to? So it's a possibility they might have to move this trial to another state. And as I said, opening arguments might be delayed. They're just simply having trouble finding good jurors. So today was very slow. Many of the jurors, again, experiencing SA or a family member. Okay. And again, if you got a lawyer who doesn't know what to do. Another juror said that one of his two brothers went to jail for robbery, and but they're both home now. And again, I talked about that they had the news on in the house. Another guy said that his brother was shot by the police, gangbanger shot by the police, but he survived. And they asked him if he seen Cassie's video, and he had, and they thought he was biased, so he also got dismissed. He said he saw the trial coming up all over the news. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, that one. That guy said he saw the trial all over the news, but he was not dismissed. So that's the interesting thing. So the lawyer was dismissed for pulling it up online, but the guy who just happened to come home and the news was on in the house and he saw the trial coming up, he was not dismissed. The defense is to be honest with you, I think they're hoping for a mistrial. And that could absolutely happen if they do find 12 jurors, but one or more jurors do not comply. They could cause a mistrial. Another juror had issues with English. And so the prosecution was like, no, you got to be able to speak English. So the jurors are not strong. They're not compliant. Another person had a relationship. I talked about that already. A relative that was a gangbanger. And again, why is Diddy wearing the same clothes? Like, bro, you in court all day sweating and carrying on. Why are you wearing the same clothes? I don't know. I have no idea what's going on with your boy. I don't know if he's doing that because he's trying to claim insanity now. All right. But here is what is being said of the trial. So we're going to go to some news sources. I'll share with you what is being said, because everyone is pretty much saying that his trial is like literally at a crawl. I mean, it's at a crawl. All right. So jury selection in Diddy's criminal trial is reportedly moving at a snail's pace, and it is, according to TMZ. Right. The outlet notes that hundreds of New Yorkers have been considered to be among the pool, but both the defense and prosecution are struggling to come to much agreement. One possible juror cited past trauma as the reason for recusal, while another brought up their struggles with bladder issues. One person even noted that they've been avidly keeping up with the case on TMZ, leading them to be tossed. It isn't surprising that jury selection is proving to be a difficult process. Considering Diddy's level of fame in New York City, as well as how much coverage the media has given to the case, finding an unbiased pool might take some time. One benefit to the situation is that jurors will not be sequestered for the trial. So that's one good thing. Listen, if they had to sequester the jurors, they can forget about it. They would never find 12 people. Now, to weed out a number of possible jurors, they had to fill out a questionnaire pertaining to questions such as their opinions on hip hop, celebrity, sex, narcotics use, and much more to narrow down the selection. There may be evidence in the case about people engaging in relations with multiple partners. Would hearing about that type of evidence be difficult for you? This is one of the questions that they were asked. Another key question is there may be evidence of graphic videos and photographs, including videos of physical violence in connection with the case. Is there anything about the nature of this that would be difficult for you to be fair or impartial, right? So that was kind of where we are as of Monday. Now, let me switch gears over to some analysis of this uphill battle that Diddy's facing. So I want to show you guys just one of the depictions of Diddy. Let me move Diddy on out the way, because this is what has struck me. And I might have mentioned this before, but you know, how do you go from this to that? I mean, his hair is salt and pepper. Your boy is just not looking good at all. Okay. You want to talk about being stressed? Yeah, he is stressed. He is stressed. Look at this depiction. Oh my goodness. I mean, he's looking old and tired. Mr. Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Well, this case surely stopped you. Diddy will argue at his trafficking trial beginning next week, and that's assuming that they find all of the 12 jurors that they need. But he's going to say that women took part of his elaborate freak-offs willingly. But again, his lawyers are going to face an uphill battle in trying to undermine the credibility of his accusers, who say that the hip-hop mogul forced them to participate. One of the reasons is because of the video. That video said a lot. And because he lied about it initially and said that Cassie and other victims were trying to extort him for money, and then this video came out, he's already been proven to be a liar. The one-time billionaire known for elevating hip-hop in American culture in the 90s and 2000s has pleaded not guilty to 5 felony counts of racketeering and trafficking. Prosecutors in the U.S. Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office say that for 2 decades, he used his business empire to lure women, and allegedly he did, into his orbit with promises of romantic relationships, financial support, and then use violence and threats to obligate them to take part in days-long. Who is going to agree to days-long, drug-fueled sexual performances that he called freak-offs with male S-workers, only to be put on an IV drip so that they can recover? Like, who's gonna agree to that? I'm trying to figure out. There's a clear power dynamic, and that power dynamic is going to be the main focus and the main issue. To persuade the jury, his lawyers will have to undermine the accounts of at least 4 women expected to testify that he coerced them into taking part in unwanted acts. And they signaled that they intend to argue that the women had financial incentives to falsely accuse him of abuse. But once again, how is he going to get around the fact that he actually, was found to lie? So his case is being compared to like R. Kelly and Ghislaine Maxwell and others. His defense says that it has evidence the accusers are not being candid. Defense lawyer Tenny Garago said on April 14th in a court hearing that one accuser referred to in court papers as victim number 4 had cherry-picked material she chose to hand over to the prosecutors, leaving out important content. So they're going to talk about that. This is how they're going to try to defend Diddy. But there's one problem, and that is Cassie. Okay. Their defense is that the charges So it's their defense to these charges that this was a toxic but loving 11-year relationship. That's his argument. First, his argument was he didn't do it. Then he did it, but it was consensual. Then he didn't do it, but now it was a toxic but loving 11-year relationship. Like, okay, Diddy, which one is it? Which one is it, bro? You let me know which one it is, because I'm not feeling none of that. All right, there was let me see if I can find it. There was one one witness that had come forward. I don't know if I can find it, but if I find it, I'll let you guys know. It wasn't a witness, it was a juror who had come forward basically to explain why she wasn't able to. And I think she basically just said that, she had seen the video and she had issues with SA. So let's talk about this victim that is missing. Let me see. I think this is the one. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one here. Let's talk about this witness that's missing. Okay, so according to the source, prosecutors reportedly are struggling to secure testimony from victim number 3 in the Diddy S trafficking case. Federal prosecutors in the ongoing S trafficking case against Sean Diddy Combs are reportedly facing mounting pressure over the uncertain testimony of a key witness who's only known by victim number 3. So on Monday, prosecutors disclosed that the woman who lives outside of New York City may not appear in court despite being subpoenaed. They admitted that they cannot get in touch with her or her attorney, casting doubt on whether her testimony will be presented at all. Now, why is this lady, is she missing? That's the question. Is she missing, and why? Because it's not unlike Diddy to cause people to disappear. And the lawyer too, Diddy, you better hope this woman, you better hope she shows up or that they get in touch with her. This is not good. He's in jail, and this is why they didn't want to let him out on bond. Can you imagine? We don't know if he has anything to do with her, her being MIA. But anyway, his legal team pushed back, requesting clarity on the prosecution's intentions regarding the witness by the end of the week. The judge echoed this urgency, directing prosecutors to make every possible effort to reach her legal counsel and confirm her availability. Okay. So I guess is this supposed to be her? I guess this is supposed to be her. I don't see any other reason why this picture would be up here. Throughout the session, Diddy was seen exchanging notes with Agnifilio, at one point asking about a potential juror who expressed discomfort with violent content. He also appeared relaxed with his co-counsel, Tenny Garagos, even assisting her with her seat at the defense table. Let me tell you something. I would not let Diddy touch me or come near me with a 10-foot pole with his nasty fingers. I'm just saying. All right, one more article before we get into what's going on with Smokey Robinson, because your boy is in trouble too. All right, so expected witnesses in Sean Combs' trial include former partners, a male S worker, and a friend of Cassie Ventura. So that is who is expected. Some of Sean Diddy Combs' former actual partners, a business associate, and a male S worker are among the witnesses expected to testify at his criminal trial. This is not good for Diddy. Now, I wonder why he was sweating bullets talking about he's nervous. At least 4 witnesses who are expected to testify against Combs at his criminal trial starting next week are accusers who have already filed civil suits against the embattled music mogul. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about the S worker and stuff, but, by now you probably heard about the nasty things that he was accused of, and I just don't want to repeat it here. The central witness in the trial is Cassie Ventura, singer and ex-girlfriend of Diddy, who has chosen to testify under her real name. Okay, Cassie. The judge has allowed the other alleged victims who CNN has identified through sources to testify under pseudonyms in an effort to protect their identity. So they will go by victims 2, 3, and 4. And again, victim 3, it was written in an April 29 filing. Prosecutors wrote that victim 3 does not wish to use a pseudonym during her testimony. Now that's interesting. She just filed on April 29th that victim number that she doesn't wish to, and I'm assuming it's a female, doesn't wish to use a pseudonym. It is a female during her testimony. So why is she missing? Why is she missing if she was planning to use her real name? She doesn't want to use a pseudonym. but she's missing. This is not good. This is not good. Diddy's attorneys told CNN that there are not new allegations or new accusers. Well, finally, thank God. It had to stop somewhere. Mr. Can't Stop, Won't Stop. Combs pleaded not guilty once again to a variety of charges, including transportation to engage in prostitution and as trafficking and racketeering. So he got hit with a RICO. Diddy is facing over 60 civil lawsuits. The criminal case will be limited. Can you believe this? His criminal trial will be limited in scope, but he's facing more than 60 civil lawsuits, with the jury instructed to deliberate on only what is presented in court. Man, I don't know. I do not know. Now, everybody remembers this. I'm going to play this. If it'll play.
Sean Diddy Combs is apologizing, saying he's truly sorry. It comes 2 days after CNN released exclusive video showing him beating his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, inside a hotel in 2016. CNN's Veronica Miracle is joining us now. And Veronica, walk us through the video and now this apology he's put out.
Very difficult to watch, and it appears to show Sean Combs assaulting Cassie Ventura inside the now closed Intercontinental Hotel and released it, and it started circulating. That Sean Combs has even acknowledged this event. He has always denied allegations of assault made by Cassie Ventura. In fact, it is the basis of a now settled federal lawsuit that happened back in November. So this video has been circulating for a couple of days, and he's finally now posted an apology video on Instagram. Take a listen to what he has to say.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. But sometimes you got to do that. I was up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy and go into rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Well, Cassie Ventura's
Are you really? Are you really sorry, Diddy? I don't know if I believe that he's sorry. I think he's just sorry that he got caught, if you ask me. All right, so that is all the update on Sean Diddy Combs. Now, we got to get into this foolishness with Smokey Robinson. Lord have mercy. Not only is Smokey in trouble, but his wife too. Okay? What the wife done did. You know, you cannot turn a blinded eye to things and think that because you're not the person who actually did something that you're exonerated or you can't be held responsible. That part. Okay. Let's get into this story because I was shocked. Smokey Robinson is in his 90s, I think. I think he's in his 90s. All right. So according to this is the New York Post. All right. So according to the New York Post, in the court documents obtained by the Post, Jane Doe number 1, who says she worked as a housekeeper for the couple from January 3rd, 2023 until February of 2024, claimed the first alleged essay occurred in March 2023 and happened at least 7 times until her resignation. According to his accuser, Robinson would allegedly take his wife to the nail salon and hurry back, knowing that he would be home alone with her since she mainly worked on the weekends. Upon returning home, defendant Smokey Robinson will call her into his blue bedroom, lock the door, and escort their dog Shiloh out of the room. He didn't want Shiloh watching. He will have showered and clothed only in his underwear. He would neatly place a white towel on his bed, not to soil the bed linens, in preparation for what was about to occur. You nasty fuzz bucket. I can't. And thank you so much for the Cash App. I'm just going to say the initials BS. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And may your gift return back to you tenfold. You nasty fuzz bucket, like my grandmama would say, put a towel. Well, how big is a doggone towel? Anyway, this is according to the lawsuit. Jane Doe 1 claimed the music legend would allegedly roughly penetrate her in the front with his fingers, orally copulate her, and proceed to penetrate her in the front with his manhood nice and tall, standing at attention, causing her great pain, and enjoyed releasing his seed inside of her without using a condom. Jane Doe number 2 said she was the Robinsons' housekeeper from May 2014 until February 2020. She allegedly was assaulted by the singer at least 23 different times in court documents. Smokey Robinson. What the devil? Like, bro, really? You doing all of this? Calling his alleged advances brutal, constant, and predictable, she claimed he would summon her to either the laundry room or garage where there were no cameras before allegedly penetrating her front with his fingers, and then would proceed to R her. She also described allegedly being forced into his blue bedroom. There's the blue boom boom room once again, where he would perform oral, where she would perform oral on him, and claimed that Robinson would forcibly penetrate her with his manhood standing at attention without using a rubber. Okay. Oh my goodness. This is too much. This is too much. Jane Doe 2 claimed in the filing that if she refused to sleep with him, the singer would threaten that he make her finances. He would make what? Wait a minute. She claimed in the filing that if she refused to sleep with him, the singer would threaten that he'd make Frances be mean to her. I'm assuming that Frances is his wife, because it ain't the dog. The dog's name is Shiloh. The third accuser said that she was Robinson's housekeeper from February 2012 until April 2024. 12 years? And she was harassed, essayed, and R'd by the musician at least 20 times. Wow, she must have been struggling for money. There is no way. Defendant Smokey Robinson will force her into his blue bedroom, whereafter he will perform his ritual of exiting his bathroom nude and wearing only underwear after showering, then carefully placing a towel on the bed to not soil the linens for what was about to occur. He would then disrobe and then orally copulate her. He would then force her to lie face down on the towel so that he could penetrate her front with his manhood standing at attention from behind. This is disgusting. Jane Doe 3 claimed that when she turned him down on one occasion, the R&B artist allegedly offered her $500 to allow him to orally copulate her, and offer she refused. That's what I'm talking about. That ain't enough money. I thought I saw like, an M in front of that. 500 million. Well, he probably ain't got that kind of money. But anyway, she alleged that Robinson would repeatedly make unwanted advances against her, touching her boobies, her womanhood, and kissing her on the neck and on her mouth. Jane Doe number 4 said that in addition to being hired as the couple's housekeeper, she also worked for as Francis's personal assistant, cook, and hairdresser from October 2006 until April 22nd of 2024. Robinson first essayed her in 2006 when she complained or accompanied him to his Las Vegas home. Okay, so she accompanied him to his Las Vegas home in 2007, and he essayed her for the first time. While there and alone with him, Smokey Robinson forced her into his bedroom and R'd her. This is what she claimed in the lawsuit. She also alleged that on or about mid-2019, Robinson reportedly R'd her at his temporary residence in Bell Canyon, California. Jane Doe 4 stated that Robinson would often summon her to his blue bedroom, this nasty blue room, I can't, at his main residence, lock the door, and put a towel down on the bed. After doing so, he would pull her clothes off and, against her protest, push her down on the bed and proceed to R her. She added in the lawsuit that Smokey Robinson never used a rubber during the essay situations and that he released his seed inside of her and withdrew and released his seed all over her body, much to his satisfaction and her abject humiliation. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I can't with this. Each accuser claimed that they didn't report the alleged assault out of fear and losing their livelihood, public embarrassment, shame, and humiliation. They included Francis in the lawsuit, alleging that she failed to take the appropriate corrective action to prevent his alleged advances, despite having full knowledge of his prior acts of actual misconduct, meaning she knew what he was doing and just turned a blinded eye, right? As long as I got my house and this man is paying my bills and he's driving me to the hair salon and the nail salon on the weekends, and I got a housekeeper, so I ain't got to clean and I ain't got to cook and I ain't got to lift a finger. Oh yeah, it's okay. So they coming for her too. The former employees also claimed that they were allegedly not paid overtime or given rest and lunch breaks. So worked them like a dog and then did his late work. His nasty work. That's what I meant to say. So worked him like a dog and then did his nasty work in the blue room. They reached out to Robinson's representative for comment and didn't get any comment. The lawsuit comes on the heels of the R&B artist releasing his new album, What the World Needs Now, on April 25th. What the world needs now is for you to take your old ass and sit down somewhere. Have a seat. We don't want to hear you sing. You just need to rest and meditate. And you know, we just gonna have to wait and see what happens after this. You know, I mean, yes, there's always the possibility that these women are not being honest, but you're talking about 4 different women all describing the blue room. No, something not right. Robinson rose to fame as an R&B soul singer after he founded the group The Miracles in 1955. He left the band in 1972 to focus on his role as vice president of the now iconic Motown Records. So if you guys are wondering, mostly I in here know who Smokey Robinson is, but you know, if there's someone in here who's like, who's Smokey Robinson? Motown? Yeah, he ran Motown. Okay, so think Diana Ross, think Michael Jackson, think the Temptations, I think the OJs, right? The Five Heartbeat, all of that. Anyway, by 1973, Robinson reignited his solo career titled Smokey. Throughout the late 70s, the Hollywood star had a slew of hits, and in 1987 was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And a year later, he won his first Grammy for Just to See Her. This man is, I think is he 95? Is he 95 years old? I'm trying to see how old he is. I'm going to just Google it real quick. And then we're going to do a quick Shannon Sharp update, and then we're going to wrap up. Oh, my goodness. You know, he's 85. He's 85 years old. This is like, you know, you don't have to cry Me Too movement for there to be a Me Too movement. And I just feel like we are in like the pit of the Me Too movement. Okay. Look at this man. He's 85 years old. Let me move some of these pictures out of the way. Accused of all of this. Like this is worse than Shannon Sharp. How much are these women suing him for? Or are they going to take him to criminal court? I mean, he's 85. He doesn't have long to live. Get his money. Yeah, he's 85. And he's accused of sexual battery, assault, false imprisonment, gender violence, and creating a hostile work environment. Okay? Because he had money and he had power. You know? This is why you have people like Diddy. Because they learned it from people like him. All right, let's move on to the Shannon Sharp foolishness. Hold on, let me go ahead and close out some of these screens. And let me just get to your comments, just double check. No, Leo Lady, he's 85, not 65. My and Mrs. Beebe said he was born in February of 1940. He is 85 years old. Ale said it's giving he's been on one for years. He went under the radar. He went under the radar, that one. All right, so here's the update on Shannon Sharp. So if you guys remember, he has 2 accusers. It's the second accuser that we're going to be talking about. Now, this is Michelle Bundy Evans. Now, I'm talking about her because she recently did an interview with TMZ. All right, let me just show you her picture real quick. See if it comes up. Do they have her picture? Yeah. All right. She recently did an interview with TMZ where she kind of elaborated a little bit on her story. All right. Now, the other thing to note is that, which makes his case, which is now overshadowed by Diddy and now Smokey Robinson, but Shannon Sharp has been arrested at least twice before for battery. Okay, for battery against 2 different women. He was arrested twice, once in the 90s and once in the 2000s. So he was charged with battery in 1995 and in 2004. So this is a case of someone who just don't learn their lesson. Okay. In the one incident, he got into an altercation with the woman in his Atlanta home in January 1995. The police at the time said that each said that they had hit the other person. Okay. So it wasn't a one-way situation. This is what she used to look like. I mean, she was gorgeous. Do y'all see this? This is Michelle Bundy Evans. Beautiful. Okay. She was charged with destruction of property. And after she allegedly broke some glasses and some other things at the time. All right. So, and then less than a decade later, he found himself facing similar charges from an incident with yet another woman inside his Atlanta home. Maybe stop letting these women into your house. Okay. Maybe don't do that. Take them to a hotel so they can, break stuff at the hotel. A Fulton County clerk confirmed to the U.S. Sun that Sharp was charged with simple battery on July 22nd of 2004, where a woman claimed that he lifted her up to physically remove her from his home. And he had basically said that he gently placed her down. I don't believe he gently placed her down. But anyway, this is what she used to look like. Okay. And this is what she looks like now. Okay. Now, her story is very interesting. It doesn't diminish the fact that, Shannon Sharp may be guilty of what she said he is. But let's listen to her story. in. Give me just 1 second. I want to catch it at the beginning. So let me just. What? Okay, hold on 1 second, y'all. I'm sorry. I thought I was sharing the screen.
The biggest argument that we ever up with my husband at the time. We were just dating. So I was dating Shannon and my husband at the same time. Shannon asked me to break up with my husband. And I don't recall for sure, but I think I did. And so, you know, it's like, wait a minute, you want me to be with just you, but you want to move somebody into your house and not even tell me? So that's what it stemmed from. He's not a faithful person, so I wasn't going to be faithful to a non-faithful person. It just doesn't work that way. Not for me anyway.
Can you tell us just broadly, I know it's probably painful to relive this situation, but can you tell us generally what happened that day?
It was fighting, and usually we fought on the phone and not in person. So it was the biggest argument that we ever got in. And he was controlling, he was domineering, he was manhandling me beforehand, and he wanted to have sex, and I told him no. I told him no, because you gave it to somebody else. I didn't only tell him no, I told him why. And he wouldn't take no for an answer. So he overpowered me, put me to my knees, put his penis in my mouth. And after he got enough of that, he put me on the bed. And, you know, this was all a struggle.
I'm going to ask something that might be a little like sensitive or might sound insensitive, I should say. But I'm going to go ahead and ask it because it's a question that I'm sure people are wondering. Why didn't you file a police report when he raped you?
Because I was scared for my life. He said he would use it. Everybody he knows, and he knows lots of police officers. So I didn't know that if I went down there, that would be one of the people that he knows. He had asked me to break up with my husband at the time. We were just dating. So I was dating Shannon and my husband at the same time. Shannon asked me to break up with my husband. And I don't recall for sure, but I think I did.
So you were cheating on your husband with Shannon Sharp? Let me just put this into perspective, okay? Because according to this victim, Shannon Sharp was not a faithful man, okay? She had a whole husband and was sleeping with Shannon Sharp at the time. He had moved a female into his house, but he's not married. He's a single man. Like, you can't be in a relationship with somebody and you're married. That relationship doesn't really count. So she got upset because he's asking her to leave her husband, and she can't remember if she did or not. She can't remember if she left her husband at the time or not. How do you not remember if you left your husband for Shannon Sharp? I don't listen, make it make sense, because I can't, okay? But he's telling you to leave your husband. I'm going to assume that she did, okay? Or she was making preparations to leave her husband, or she might have told her husband, listen, I love somebody else. Sonia's white muscle t-shirt said, no, she was dating him. He wasn't her husband at the time. No, I'm telling you what she said. She said that she had a husband and was dating Shannon Sharp while she had a husband. She was not married to Shannon Sharp. She was married to somebody else. This is what she said. You can roll it back. This is coming out of her own mouth. He wanted her to leave her husband, and she probably made preparations to do so. Because he did have a fiance, but it wasn't this one. His fiance had blonde hair. She's a redhead. Anyway, she left her husband, or maybe she made preparations. She says she can't remember if she left her husband or not. I want to say that she probably did, or at least, probably told him what was up. But she found out that he moved another woman into his house. So she said, you can move another woman into your house, but you want me to leave my husband? So she went over there to tell him a thing or two. And they got into it. And she's alleging that he did what he did. And he may not have realized that that's not what she wanted. It was her then boyfriend, now husband. Got you. Okay. So she had a boyfriend who she later married. Okay. But while she was dating her boyfriend, she was also messing around with Shannon Sharp. And Shannon Sharp wanted her to leave her man when he had a whole other woman he was messing with. Okay. And she doesn't remember if she broke up with her boyfriend then at the time or not. Well, either she broke up with him and they got back together, or she never really broke up with him. It's probably she never really broke up with him. But anyway, but it's interesting. It's really interesting because she said she claims that Shannon Sharp was not a faithful man. Well, if you had a boyfriend and you messing around with Shannon Sharp, you're not a faithful person either. I'm just saying that you. Anyway, let me get to y'all's comments. Oh, I didn't hear her say that. I heard her say she was dating the boat. No, you're right. It was her then boyfriend and now husband. It's just the way she articulated it. She made it seem like she had. But anyway, whether she had a whole husband, she had a whole boyfriend. Point is, she cheating too. She's cheating, and I guess she attempted to leave her boyfriend. Can you imagine you in a good relationship, but now you have this guy, this pseudo celebrity. I don't know if he was. I guess he was a celebrity back then, but you got the celebrity that's interested in you, that's spending money on you, dropping money on you. But you love your boyfriend, but this guy's got money and status, and you leave your good relationship with a man who truly loves you, and to come to find out that the man with money got other chicks on the side. Like, what did you expect? And I mean, again, you saw how she looked, right? She was gorgeous. She probably could have had any man she wanted. So yes, she was mad. She was upset, but that did not give him a right to do what he did. What I'm thinking could have happened in this situation, you have some men that like makeup relations. Okay. They like when their girlfriend gets mad and upset. Or sometimes you have men that will purposely provoke you to anger for the purposes of having makeup relations, because they get off on that. They like that. They want you fighting and screaming and hollering because they figure if you do that, you must really care. And he might have thought it was one of the moments, and she wasn't having it. Okay. And he just did what he did anyway. How do you know if how you don't know if you told your spouse you're cheating? That's what I said. Shannon was playing mind games with these low self-esteem women, in my opinion. Listen, I agree with your opinion. I'm just saying it's not making sense why she went there in person to argue. She wanted to give him a piece of her mind, but maybe she should have done so over the phone, because she's also claiming that he was controlling. Look at let me just show you the headlines on this. Shannon Sharp accuser speaks out on alleged essay. He was controlling, domineering, and mishandling me. Well, why would you go to somebody's house who's acting like that? You could have gone to Starbucks and had that conversation. Y'all could have gone to McDonald's and had that conversation. I'm just saying. But anyway, that is the latest. We have not really heard much more from Shannon Sharp other than this $100 million deal that he was negotiating because somebody did a whole live talking about there was no $100 deal. And it's not that there was not a $100 deal. It's just that he was in negotiations. He was working out a $100 deal. Obviously, the deal was not signed yet, because once they signed the deal, that's it. They were in negotiations and decided that they're not going to move forward with the deal. Okay. So, make sure y'all getting y'all news from the right people, because some people just say any damn thing for views. But anyway, so that's it, y'all. That's all I got. Tell me what you guys think about this in the live chat, and certainly if you're on the replay, make sure you let me know what you think down in the comments about the Shannon Sharp foolishness. Tell me what you think about Smokey Robinson. And that, listen, that one was a hard pill to swallow. That one was hard. I believe the women. That's all I'm gonna say. It's too specific, it's too detailed, and I can't imagine that all these women got together and decided what you gonna say. We're all gonna talk about the blue room, and obviously they can confirm that he worked, or they worked for him. So it's kind of hard to lie about something like that. But you old dirty dog, and shame on you. Shame on you. Look at this thumbnail. He's over there pointing at Shannon Sharp, and Shannon Sharp is over here looking at Diddy. I promise I didn't do that on purpose. That's just the way the thumbnail came out. When I put it together, I just, but that's funny. Anyway, y'all, thank you so much for watching. This has been something else. We will continue to follow Shannon Sharp to see if there's any news on this $50 million lawsuit. The stuff with Smokey Robinson came out today, earlier, like 3:00 this afternoon, I believe it was. And we're going to continue to follow the story with Smokey Robinson to see what's happening with that. And you already know that we got to follow this Diddy situation. We got to follow the diddler and find out what's going on with this jury selection and see how things are coming. So I will continue to bring you updates day by day on what's happening. I may do a couple days at a time if I'm not able to go live every day, but make sure you subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, set them to all so you can be the first to know when I go live or drop a new video, so that you don't miss out, because I don't want you to miss out. I want to make sure that you're locked in. Thank you so much for watching. I am Wisdom's daughter, and this is Bad Girls Talk. Bye, y'all.